All right, we live. All right, so we're going to start off by breaking down the triangle offense. And this is a system that I created that helped me lose over 75 pounds. And it's helping many others dominate their universe. So, starting off, the triangle offense, where it comes from, is Phil Jackson. He ran this offense to coach Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. He was the Zen master. So, using this triangle offense in my life, I was able to build a life that I'm proud of, body I am proud of, and it's helping many others. So, boom, this is my story. Let's start from the beginning. So, this is how I transformed my body while still working a 9 to 5 job without spending more than 6 hours in the gym every week. And this is going to show you how to not get overwhelmed by all this useless information that there is out there, wasting hours in the gym and cooking things. Like, I focus on most simple, most efficient ways. The most simple, efficient workouts and foods that will keep you going, because I know everybody's busy. I'm busy, and we don't want to be caught up doing other things. Like, we don't want to be efficient, right? And without dealing with the slow progresses. I went through all this stuff so you guys don't have to. So here is my client testimonials. This is Alex. He is a barber, and he was my client. So he was always, focused on cutting people's hair, and he put his health off to the side. And he would say, "Oh yeah, I'll take care of it later." But that later never came, because his schedule is always booked. But once we started working together, we put a plan in place to have it work with him. So he was able to lose 45 pounds. And now he's more in tune with his mind physically, mentally, and he's able to spend more time with his family. And Josh, right here, man, he's an RN. And being an RN, he is super busy. And he's always taking care of his clients and putting them first. So when he finally, took a step back, looked at himself in the mirror, and he wasn't happy with what he saw. But when we started working together, in only 4 months, he dropped 42 pounds, and he gained so much confidence, and his mindset completely changed. And this guy is now happily getting married. So congrats to this guy. All right. So from there, those are my clients, and this is my journey. Like I said, I went through all this stuff so you guys don't have to. Growing up as a kid, I was fat and skinny all the time. It's because I used to always do crash diets, things that weren't sustainable. I was always the class clown, the fat funny kid. You know those guys. So, but deep down, I was masking my true feelings. I wasn't really proud of myself. But so I did lose the weight. Even before I was 15 years old, I would be 13 fat, and then I'd be at 14 skinny. I'd be going on a loop all throughout while I was growing up. So even if I did get skinny, I was still made fun of. I was literally trying to satisfy other people's perception rather than my own. So as you can see here, 15 years old, pretty chunky. And then I did a crash diet, dropped down to 135. And then, I graduate high school, get all comfortable. I didn't have basketball, the structure that I usually have. So I get a little skinny fat here. And then when I reached 25 years old, I reached 235 pounds. And this was truly, truly my rock bottom moment. This leads me here. And how did I get there? I was focused on only gaming, and I wouldn't get out of my desk. That led me to be tired. It led me to be only wearing baggy hoodies, big shirts, so I couldn't get in front of the camera. Or yeah, I would avoid cameras, pictures, and all that. I would try to avoid the mirror at all costs. When I would walk past my bathroom mirror, I would go like this and not want to see myself, because I was definitely down. Like I was not in the right headspace. I did not want to see myself because I knew deep down I wasn't proud of myself. And all the time when I would have a shirt on, I just wouldn't feel comfortable. I would always have to like adjust my shirt, but still I would feel not good, right? And when it came to work, I was always tired at my desk job. I would always try to find ways for me to be, not so exhausted. So I eventually, down the line, I went to my Kaiser meeting, a checkup, and they took a look at my blood pressure and all that, my blood tests and stuff, and they were like, bro, if you keep heading down this road, since your family history, you're going to get a heart attack the way that you're going. I was smoking nicotine. I was still drinking. And, really not taking care of my body at all. Not treating my body as a temple that it is supposed to be. So I decided to make a change. I started going to the gym, lifting, and dieting. Okay? But, without the knowledge that I know now, I lost the weight, but I became skinny fat. I went from 235 pounds to 165 in only 8 months. But the only problem was I was doing too much cardio. It put my body into survival mode. And, I lost all my strength. I wasn't really pushing myself as hard as I could in the gym. I was really hyper fixated on only form and not really trying to push my body to where it can grow. But I did lose the weight, right? So in doing so, I did gain that confidence, but it wasn't the body that I was searching for. I didn't have the aesthetic physique and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, let's put on some more muscle. And how did I think we should do that? I bulked. And you'll see where it goes here. The bulking foundation. My PRs went up. My strength, my muscles were at an all-time high. I was the strongest I have ever been at this point right here. I was always hitting my protein goal for sure. I was hitting my calorie goals, but I was even going higher. So I was in a calorie surplus and eating more than I really should. As you could say, I pushed my bulk too far. And in doing so, I did see myself in the mirror again, and I was like, this is still not what I was looking for. I may be strong on the outside, but on the inside and the outside, I didn't look like it. It didn't look like I worked out at all. I took off my shirt. It looks like I'd never stepped foot in the gym. I had my shirt on. It still looked like I'd never stepped foot in the gym. I was spending 2 hours in the gym, but it looks like I made no progress. So I knew I had to make a change. So combining all the skills that I known together, like all these methods that I learned, I combined them. So after using these methods, I stayed consistent for 8 months, working as hard as I could to get lean. And this is where the dominating our universe comes to play. The triangle offense. And it consists of 3 pillars and methods. The temple, the tribrid temple, the Mamba Mindset, and the champion lifestyle. Using these methods, I created the body I always dreamed of and the life I always dreamed of. So, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. We all have, when we have the ball, we have 24 seconds on that shot clock. It just depends on what you do in those 24 hours. So using this domination, do you methods and the triangle offense, it's going to show you how to build your body, your mind, and your life that God has intended for you. So we got to learn how to use the 24 hours that we have in the day, or you can say the 24 hours we have on the shot clock to be the most efficient. All right? So we have to have the precision strikes. You could say we have to have the right moves, the right crossovers, or the right handles to conquer our universe, to dominate our own universe, so we can live the life that we always known we could. So how are we going to do that? We're going to start off with a tri-bread temple. All right, so lifting. This is what I look like when I was just focused on going to the gym, lifting as much weight as possible, going to the gym 1 to 1.5 hours, 2 hours a day, and just eating as much as possible, and not really taking into account how much I really need to eat per day. I was just focused on how to get strong, how can I get the strongest, and not really focused on how I can better every portion, right? But yes, I had the right idea. Lifting hard and pushing yourself hard is what you want to do. Okay? So, and then the diet portion. When you're skinny fat, or when you're just doing too much cardio, and you do have a good diet, right? But you could be not fueling yourself efficiently. So if you have the mixture of both, on having a good diet and actually lifting and pushing yourself, this is what you get, right? The aesthetic physique that you're looking for. It's a perfect balance. As you can see, this is Kyrie. He's balancing, right? He has perfect balance, but he's always leaning towards the diet, because lifting is definitely important, but the diet is more important. All right? Drink some water. So when you focus on lifting, right, you're going to have more power. You're going to have, more confidence, because you're strong. You're capable. If you need to lift something up, you're able to do it. And the more muscle you have, the more calories you can intake. So that entails to your diet. You're going to have more energy. If you have a good diet, you're going to have more energy. You're going to perform better. Your hormones are going to be in check. And, and your hair and your skin is all going to overall get better. So once you have the perfect balance, you're going to have the physique, and it's not going to be so hard. Because once you have that perfect balance, it's going to lean into every portion of your life, not just your body. It's going to lean into your mind, your life, everything. So you have to fuel your body properly. So you have to fuel your body properly. So it's the food and your diet is the gas to your engine. You have to have balance, and you have to know what you're putting in your body. We're not always going to have our scales with us, so our Tupperware. And we got to think about it. Like, the food isn't our enemy. Carbs and stuff is not our enemy. It's our fuel to fuel our body. And when it comes to fuel, you can't outwork the bad diet. You can't put bad fuel in and expect your engine to work properly. So you have to be focused on eating whole foods. And if you want to eat dessert, you'll be able to learn how to fit that in. And that's where the Bugatti engine blueprint. So the Mamba Mindset, right? Of course, we might not have the most tangible tools. We may not be 6'6", 7 feet tall, the tallest guy in the world, right? Having all the physical attributes that we would want, right? But we push ourselves, we push our bodies to our own personal limits. So we have to treat our body like it. Our body, our engine, is the Bugatti. We may, on our outside, right now, you may think, oh, yeah, I'm not a Bugatti. But you got to push yourself like you are. And this is where it comes in. And you start to look like it as well as you level up. So, your body needs the same care, high quality ingredients. So your mind is sharp, your body, your energy levels is always sharp because you're taking care of it. So how we're going to do that is that we're going to prioritize protein. It's going to keep you satiated throughout the day. We're going to start off with protein. All right. And then hydration is super, super, super important. As you can see, I was drinking water and I need to take another sip now since I'm just talking and being so passionate about this. But yeah, hydration is super important along with electrolytes. Electrolytes is like the Velcro that makes it stick. So if you don't have electrolytes and you're drinking all this water, it's not going to stick to the molecules where it needs to. All right. And then time. You got to use time to your advantage, right? If you're waking up in the morning, you're having your hydration, you're trying to delay your food intake till later on in the day so you don't binge eat. Because if you're the more earlier you eat and the later you stay up, the likelihood of you actually binge eating is higher. Okay? So when you're focusing on whole foods like grains, rice, avocados, eggs, fruits, you won't have to worry so much about tracking and scaling because you're eating overall healthier foods. You're eating the protein first, and that's going to keep you satiated, and you're eating whole foods and fruits. The fruits will negate your sugar cravings, your candy, your chocolates and stuff like that. But if you do ever crave that kind of stuff, you're able to have it because you have your own personal menu that you usually eat every single day that you can easily fit in whatever you're craving because you're always eating the same thing and your body's used to it. And this is what happens when you prioritize all these things. Your body shows, it shows in the confidence, it shows in, your physique. It really ties it all in. So your body starts to look like the Bugatti on the outside. All right? So let's move on to the Mamba Mindset. And, you have to have Zen, just like the Zen master, Phil Jackson, right here. And you have to learn how to adapt in certain situations, right? So they may think you're selfish. They called Kobe a selfish player, right? But it comes down to mastering the triangle offense and getting along with your teammates, getting along with your surroundings. However you can adapt is how you're going to win the championship, okay? So how we're going to start off is we're going to build our engine, and we're going to do that by lifting 3 to 5 times a week, 45 minutes, training as hard as we can. We're going to put on the muscle that we need to make our physique pop and make it look and function like an athletic person that we always known we could be. It's going to command respect, right, to those around you. And when you walk in a room, they'll see you and, they'll actually notice you. And cardio, when you do cardio, it's going to help your overall cardiovascular system. And everybody wants to be fit. There's all these bodybuilders, they could be fit on the outside, but on the inside, they're so tired they can't even walk up the stairs. That's why cardio is so important. It's going to help you, like when you're going out on run clubs, and you're able to go out more, right? You're able to go out and meet more people. You're not going to be confined to a specific spot. All right, so you're fueling your engine with a relentless discipline. Your nutrition, your personal menu. You're always going to be leaning towards high quality foods that's going to keep your engine running. And recovery is your sleep. You know, not only your sleep, your hydration, your stretching, your cardio. These all play into factor. And consistency is hands down the most important part that ties this all. Showing up every single day, even the days that are hard, even the days that you don't want to show up, those are the days that you will gain the most pull from. Because, of course, not every day we're not going to want to show up. We show up on those days, we may give only 50%, but we give that 50% as hard as we can. So when we do have that 100% energy, we're going to give 120, right? That's why consistency matters. Every time you show up, you give the proof to yourself that you are who you say you are. And the big goal, we have to have our big goal. We have to see the championship. We have to know what we're going for. We could just be just going aimlessly. Oh yeah, I just want to win. Okay, what do you want to win, right? You have to have something that you're aiming towards so you can know where you're going, the purpose on what you're doing. Your big goal has got to be maybe to dunk a basketball, to lose 75 pounds and get the aesthetic physique that you always wanted, right? And that goal is going to keep pushing you towards and making you want to wake up every single day on the days you don't want to, and keep pushing you towards and leveling up every single time. You know, this isn't just when you hit your physique. That this isn't it. This is your whole life. You're going to keep leveling up every single day, right? Every single month, every single year, you're going to keep leveling up because you have these systems in place. You know, without the clear destination and vision on where you're going, you're going to lose the motivation. When roadblocks come, you're going to be like, just take a break. And then it's going to be, you take a break for like a month, and then like, oh man, I lost all my progress, right? But when you have that destination goal, you're going to keep showing up and keep making the progress, as long as, even when the bumps in the road come. Because building your body and your mind, it's a journey. It's not just one short destination. The guy who likes walking is going to walk further than the guy who likes the destination. And your goal is going to push you to that, you know, throughout the journey. The journey is the dream, right? You getting there is the dream. So we don't want to waste our moves. You know, we only have 24 hours in the shot clock. You know, we only have 24 seconds on the shot clock. We don't want to waste our moves. Okay? So, and that's what I'm going to bring up now. So the domination of our universe program and the triangle offense. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, I have my Instagram and the link in bio in this video, the Canada link. You can work with me, set an appointment with me one-on-one. Just click the link, and also on Instagram, it's also in the bio. But I'll tell you who particularly this program is for if you want to sign up. This is for people who want to have top-tier confidence, tired of the slow progress, and if they're feeling lost and overwhelmed. Right, going on this journey and, you know, trying as hard as we can every day. And I get it. Like, I remember trying all these methods and seeing in the mirror, I'm like, dang, dude, I'm not making any progress. What's going on? But it's because I was going through the trials that I needed to get to where I am today. Relentless accountability. I'm going to be on you every day to tell you, so did you go to the gym today? Did you get your steps in? Are you putting these things into place? Are you on your way, right? So this is for people who want that accountability and who are action takers. They want to see their goals come to in fruition. Yeah, they want to see it. They want to see it actually come true. And this is also for people who have an open mind, who are ready to learn and want to achieve their goals however means possible, right? It's how you can fit this into your life. Who is this program not for? It isn't for you if you're just trying to, try to get fit quick and then be done with it, right? And it's not going to be for you if you're not willing to put in the work and implement the strategies that we've been working on. And it's also not for you if you're resistant to the guidance. If you want to do it on your own, you can, right? And if you're not ready to change your mindset, it isn't for you. But so this is it, man. If you want to dominate your universe and you want to finally break through the barriers, the plateaus that you've been going through, I got you. Just follow this system. If you want to work with me one-on-one, hit the link in the bio, the Canada link, and set an appointment with me. Or hit me up on Instagram. The link is also in the bio. I be posting there every day, tips, and you'll see me on there. So hit me up, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.